So moving on and moving forward, doing dashboards. Being able to look at a dashboard, and again, under Home, the fourth button in is Dashboard. This will allow you to create reports that you may want to see in TrialWorks. I know we have a reports field, but some of those reports, some people say, hey, I want 2 fields out of this report, 3 fields out of that report, and 2 more fields out of this other report. Can I get one report that has all 7 of those together for me? Yes, we can build a dashboard for you. So if there's any field in TrialWorks that you see or want to see, we can build a dashboard and give you that item. Like right now, this is our intake cases monthly report. So we want to see all of our new intakes that were created in this month. So once we've got that report, if we like that report and like everything about that report, we can always go to subscribe to this view. So I can tell it on the weekly, every Monday morning at 9 a.m., I want it to email me this dashboard. So every Monday morning at 9 a.m., I would get an email from TrialWorks with this dashboard associated or attached to the email. You can go down and put all of the recipients. So if there was 3 or 4 or 5 people in the office that needed this, put them all in. They're only separated again by a semicolon. If you look to the right, enter multiple emails. The subject, intake cases, monthly or daily or weekly report, and then what you would want to be in the body of the email.
One more time on creating the, let's say, a weekly intake report.
Mm-hmm.
Show me how you create it.
What it is we would create the dashboard for you. So if you send an email to tickets@trialworks.com and say, I want a dashboard with this field, this field, this field, and this field in it. You just tell us what you want, because I promise we don't want you entering the queries unless you know exactly what you're doing. So the question was, how do we get a dashboard built? And again, we're going to submit an email to tickets@trialworks.com with all the fields that you want. Please include your firm information so we know exactly who to build that dashboard for and where to build it. Once we've got a couple of subscriptions set up, we can always go to manage subscriptions and say, hey, oh, I don't want this one to be every Friday at 5 p.m. because, you know, it's Friday. I'm going to take off early. I can always double click, open it up, and adjust that. I can adjust that subscription once it's in. Cool. Again, once we've got those fields in, we can see what's been done or not. If I click on a intake here, I can always click on open intake and it'll let me open that intake. So I can still see all of the information that was in that intake. Again, if you hit the drop down, you can see all of the different dashboards that your firm has.
So you could either specify one of those or you could have a custom one created.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am. Like we were talking earlier before we started, we were talking about doing the quarterly or monthly or biannually newsletter that you want to send out to certain people. That's what we have the mailing list here. So it gives you the case, the client's information, their address, city, state, zip, and their email address. Because maybe you don't want to send a postcard or send a letter. Well, we just want to shoot them a quarterly email. So again, when I'm looking at that monthly report, I can keep looking at all the tabs that are here, who it was created by, the injured party, the date it was created, the referral source, the intake status. I can actually see who was created in TrialWorks, who wasn't. And if they were created in TrialWorks, did they have a signed contract already? So of course, the next big question is, where's the signed contract field? Once you get the signed contract field and you've entered it into your clients tab, in the case info where we were entering our statuses and sub-statuses, right there, signed contract fee, just check it. So then that way it'll report to our dashboard that Lily has sent back her contract and she truly is one of our customers. Good. So one of the features that we were also talking about too is our mailing wizard. A lot of people didn't understand that the mailing wizard is here and available to help. So when you go to new mailing wizard, I can choose a case or a dashboard. So if I choose a dashboard, I can say, I want to see that monthly report, but I only care about those that are family law. Right here in the type, I can say it's going to be a correspondence, client, and I can send them the welcome letter with the SMS. Preview those documents, and then generate. It will take this template in this tab for everybody that fits that liability and create that document for them. So if there's 2 or there's 200, it would create all of those letters for them.
Eric, can you do the same mailing wizard by case instead of dashboard?
I'm going to do it in just a second. I was just showing the dashboard there, and then it'll generate my documents for me. First letter, second letter, and now those are there, and I can do envelopes, print those letters, whatever I needed to do. One thing I want to do real quick, because I haven't added any medical providers because this case is so new, I want to add as many doctors as I can. So I'm going to insert existing. Clear. I just want to go to doctor.
Are all those pull downs, Eric, still reverting automatically to attorney when they come up?
It actually goes to other rather than attorney. It goes to other contacts. That's why you always want to check this clear. So the question was, does it automatically revert to attorney? And I was telling Dan, no, it actually goes to other now. So you still want to hit that clear button and clear that contact type. So when we click on insert existing, it will come up to other. I can hit clear and then search what type of contact, or I can just start typing in name, company, address, email, phone number, etc. of what I'm looking for. So now that I've got a couple medical providers in, I'm going to use the mailing wizard just for this case. So I can hit the drop down under new. Again, go to mailing wizard. From there, I'm going to choose my contact types as doctors. It's going to give me those doctors. I can check or uncheck. It automatically comes checked. I can uncheck any of those that I don't want to request records from, or if I want to request them all, I can just say yes. Choose my type of letter that I'm going to send. It's medical. Under the template category is general, and I want to do my med request. Preview those documents. Hit generate, and it will take this med request in the medical tab and create each one of those contacts that letter individually. So when I hit generate, it's going to tell me, hey, you're about to create these 3 medical records. Do you want to continue? Well, sure I do.
Then will those letters all be on one sequential document?
So-
when they're created, or are they going to show up individually?
So the question was, will all 3 of those documents be one sequential document, or will they be 3 separate documents? They are 3 separate individual documents. Each one of them is their own. So once you close those items and you fix them the way that you wanted, you can actually close the door. Yes, I want to exit. I can go to the medical tab and see those 3 entries separate of each other. Good? Are there any other questions that we may have?
Eric, we do have a question. Somebody wanted to know whether you can have multiple UDFs per client or you're only limited to 1 per case.
You can have multiple UDFs per client. And again, those truly aren't per client. They would be more per like liability, per type of case. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
So let's say we're using the mailing wizard to generate a series of medical requests.
Uh-huh.
Is it possible also to set the form up on an automated basis to also insert the provider's name into a HIPAA or a high-tech request that we've made, that we've had the client sign that we have? So that part of the process can be automated as well, or does that still have to be done individually?
That still has to be done individually. And what most firms have come to, if you're submitting a high-tech request or one of those, they're submitting it via email. So when you go to new email, again, the question was, can we bring in our executed HIPAA automatically when we're requesting records? And the big answer is no, but if you're emailing them, if you go to new and email, it brings up every single document that's in that case. So I could choose my HIPAA and then also choose my medical record request.
And then you could edit those within the email by putting them up in the email. Is that the idea?
That is correct, sir.
And if you've got an e-fax type program, you can do the same thing with email.
That is correct. So the question was, if I was going to edit them, can I edit them in the email or in e-fax if you're faxing? Yes, you'll be able to edit those because it's going to come up like a regular email. You can click on the links and do whatever you choose to those documents. Any other questions inside or outside of the room?
Eric, if you'd like, you could show the from the mailing wizard the ability to use an email template to send out a message for emails.
You're talking the dashboard. Come here.
Do it with the case too.
Yeah. So the same thing, it'd be email. So we're not choosing correspondence or pleadings or document generation, but if you have email templates, does any or everybody know you can have email templates? So if it's a standard canned email that can go out, you can actually create email templates just like you would in correspondence or pleadings or discovery or any of those. I don't know why that says rejected. It's telling me that template doesn't work, Diane.
Yeah, we may not have that in the presentation. That's okay. We do have a question about contact records.
Okay, give me
If you
one
don't mind
second.
going over that.
Give me 1 second. So for those that
Sure.
want email templates, just like templates like we saw before, add and edit, hit the drop down, you're going to see email. You're going to see all of your email templates. So you can create canned emails that you want to go out. So when you go to the email tab and you click the green plus sign, you can choose who's going to get associated to that email, and then come down and choose your email template. Hit continue, and then it'll open up an email with that canned email in it. So one thing you can do is you can always go into Outlook, create a new email. At that point, you're going to file, save as, and you can save it to your template library.
You have to find your template library in your case file.
That is correct. Hit save, and now it's saved there. So now when I go into templates, I can go down to email. I'm going to click the green plus sign to add a new. I'm going to point to where it's at. Now it's there.
And how does it know it names the document after whatever you put in the subject line?
No, actually, I named it. So when I did the save as, I saved it as what I wanted it to be called. Okay, Diane. I'm sorry I stopped you. Moving on.
No, you're fine. Eric, we had some questions on the contact tab. This is a little off topic, but somebody was asking about how to identify a contact record as an expert.
Okay. So when you come into a contact, I can always mark them as an expert. And also in their contact type, I can put them in as an expert witness also.
If you wanted to delineate one of those experts as just a defense expert, what would be your recommendation?
I would mark them as an adverse party or create a contact type of adverse party expert. Also, when you're looking, or if we look under additional, it's just got phone numbers and addresses. Hang on a second here. If I check expert, we can actually bring in their CVs, transcripts, anything they may have done for us in previous cases. And in the notes, I can put in what about this document. Whatever I need to talk to about this document. To create a new one, just click the plus sign and go grab that document from wherever it's at.
Did you mark him as a global for both expert?
I did.
and doctor?
I did.
Okay, now I thought this is what we talked about earlier, before the session started.
Right.
I thought global was what he was across the board for everything.
It is.
And maybe he's not an expert in some other cases. Maybe he's just a treating physician.
Correct. So the question was, did I mark global for both of them? Because he's not an expert in every single case. He's just an expert in this case. So I would uncheck global and just make him an expert in this case, rather than a doctor and expert. So if they're a doctor, they're a treating physician 7 days a week, but on this one case, they're going to be an expert for us. We can mark it as expert, just don't mark global. Okay? So then when I see them in my address book, they're going to be a doctor or provider or whatever they were, but only when I come to this case will they be shown as an expert witness. Diane, does that help? Does that help you? Awesome.
All right. Eric, if it's all right with you.
It did. Thank you, Eric.
I think we've reached the end of our agenda for block 1. So why don't we call a 15-minute break, and everybody kind of get up, shake your legs, hit the restroom if you have to. We're going to put a timer up on the screen so everybody can see where we are and when we're coming back. And in block 2, we're going to kick things off with Madeline Burrows from EMSI. So make sure to join us back in 15 minutes. And thank you, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.